don't know what car this is, you've been living under the proverbial rock. This is a 2008 Lexus IS250 all-wheel drive, Lexus' second iteration of the IS model, and what I currently believe to be the best value in the sports compact luxury sedan segment under $15,000. Today, I borrowed this car from one of my 5 viewers here in Eastern Pennsylvania to show you why I think this is the best value. After that, I will show you some of my favorite features, take it for a drive, and point out some of the things you should look for when buying one. The IS model first appeared back in 1999 when Lexus needed a sports compact luxury sedan for its lineup. And at the time, they only had 6 models: the ES, which was a rebadged Toyota Camry, the GS, the LS, the SC, the RX, and the LX SUV, which was also a rebadged Toyota Land Cruiser. So in order to save on cost, they once again rebadged their Japanese Altezza model. That they turned into the IS300 for the American market. It was a great sporty car with great potential, but not necessarily very luxurious. And I can attest to that. I actually had a 2002 IS300 in yellow. During the early 2000s, Lexus was going through a global reorganization and separation from its parent company Toyota, which completed in 2005, right before the launch of the second generation IS lineup. During this reorg and transformation, Lexus started to change their design language and needed a more luxurious sports compact sedan. And so they came up with this. Offered as a 2006 model, buyers here in the US could choose from the IS250 and the IS350 variants. This specific model has a 2.5 V6 engine producing 206 horsepower and 186 foot-pounds of torque thanks to direct port injection and variable timing. For more information on other renditions, see the description below. But now, let's walk around the car, take a look at the interior, where I will show you some of my favorite features. Then, we'll take it for a drive and show you some of the things you should look for when buying one. Also, a very cool feature, you can actually set indicators on the dash for your speed and your engine speed as well. Which, as far as I know, the only car that had it before Lexus came up with this was the VW Phaeton, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that was the case. And basically, there's a little switch here that allows you to go through different features to set that. And I'll show you how that goes. I'm going to press the button, and you can see at the very top, there's your tire pressure. I'll move through it. And then there's different features that you can turn on and off. Here's the speed indicator. I'm gonna go turn that on, and you can see how I can now, move the needle up and down to wherever I want the speed indicator to be. And what that does is that as soon as the speed starts to get to where I have it set, it will turn yellow. And if it goes a certain speed above that, it'll turn red. I'm going to set it to 70, say OK. And then I'm going to move to the tag indicator. And I'm going to set that to on. You can see currently set at 5500, but I can move that down to anything you like. All the way to 6500, which is, I believe, red line on this car. Next is the Swiveling Headlights, like in the original Tuckers or Citroën DS. Instead, here Lexus calls it the Adaptive Front Lighting System, and it basically allows the HID bulb itself to turn with the car in the direction the car is going, and it also has auto leveling. And lastly, one cool feature that this car has is that you can actually control the windows with your remote. Let's say that is a very hot day and you want to put the windows down before you come to your car so it cools off. All you have to do is hit the on lock button and keep it on lock. the windows come down. And the sunroof opens as well. And at any given time, if you want to keep the windows halfway, you can stop, you can let go of the button, and the windows will stop at that point. Pretty cool feature. Right, so immediate impressions, the steering is kind of light. It's not too bad. A lot of people complain about steering feel on these cars. It's not incredibly bad. It's not Porsche-like, but fortunately, there's a couple of tuning companies out there that actually provide increased feeling by just changing some bushings. One of them is Fix Engineering. They have a lower control arm bushing replacement kit, as well as RR Racing, and I have links below for both of those. And basically what they do is they replace the bushings on the end of the lower control arm, and that gives you a lot more feel on the steering wheel. But it could be a little bit heavier and provide a little bit more feeling, but it's not that bad. Visibility and all the controls are where they need to be as typical Lexus. That doesn't change here. The IS250, it's not really a performance vehicle. It's more of a daily driver luxury type of vehicle. I mean, the engine is okay. It's nothing special. Talking about the engine, let's nail it for a little bit. Let's see how that goes. Again, it's nothing crazy here. It's a 2.5 liter engine, but it goes okay. The suspension is actually pretty good. It's very stable. Again, this car's a lot sportier in terms of chassis stiffness than the IS300, I think. And I haven't driven one of those in quite a while. But like I said, I had one of those and I drove it for a while. And I think this is a great improvement on that car in terms of the overall package. And it does quite well in the corners. I believe this car is a little bit heavier than the IS300, so obviously that you feel the weight of the car more than the IS300. But in comparison to a lot of the other cars in this segment, it's just quite a great value. The sitting position is quite nice. I wish it was just a hair lower for a sporty car, but it's certainly very ergonomical, very comfortable. The seats are pretty comfortable, in comparison to something like the G35 from Nissan, or Infiniti actually. I think this is more comfortable long term, long trips. Those cars tend to be a little bit harsh. It really depends on the individual as well. Now, I also had one of these a long time ago. I had the IS250 with the 6-speed manual, and that was the lightest version that you can get because it had the manual transmission and it was only rear-wheel drive. And I thought that was a nice, fun car. It would have been great to have the 350 engine with that transmission. That would have been very, very good. And now, allow me to highlight some of the things you should look for when buying one. I made a video to show you general things to look for when buying any vehicle, like body shape, signs of wear, leaks, etc. The link is included below. Use that as your basis, but now let's dig into things to look for this car specifically. Keep in mind, it's never a bad idea to bring along a car-savvy friend who is familiar with these types of cars to help you look for things. If you find one that you have your heart set on, I would also recommend that you get a PPI, or pre-purchase inspection, which you can get from any Lexus dealership. I also wanted to point out, as it is the case with most Lexus Toyota products, reliability and durability ranks high on the list, and there's data to back this claim, and so this car is no different. Right, so now let's jump right into it. A known issue with these cars is the water pump. After 80 to 100,000 miles, they wear out and start to leak. This can cost from $300 to $700 to repair. Check between the radiator and the engine as well as underneath for signs of coolant leaks. If there's any, make sure to deduct it from the sale price. You may also remember Airbag Mageddon, the massive Takata airbag recall affecting many automakers. Certain Lexus models were affected and a recall was issued. Check to make sure that the car you're buying has been repaired. And last but not least, the fuel leak recall. There was a recall on a dangerous fuel leak that affected the IS model. The leak was due to a gasket in the high-pressure direct port injection system. Make sure this recall was performed, as this is a high-risk safety issue. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you liked the video, give it a like, give me some comments below, and if you have any experience with these cars and there's something that I missed, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks and see you next time.